Warning, this video will contain major manga spoilers, so for you anime only watchers out there, if you don't want to get spoiled, then please click off of the video. You have been warned. So recently, the Paranormal Liberation Front took a major loss in chapter 266 with the death of Twice. You see, I did tell you there was going to be some major manga spoilers in this video. So with Twice now gone, the PLF no longer have a way to quickly mass produce the quirk erasing bullets and can no longer make an army full of high-end Nomu clones. Now, even though it seems that both of the PLF's major plans were ruined because of Twice dying, there is actually one plan that could still be achieved out of the two. The plan to mass produce the quirk erasing drug. For today's video, I will be discussing my theory on who the PLF will target from Class 1A to mass produce the quirk erasing drug. So to really understand the theory, I'm going to go over why Twice was so important to the PLF's plans to begin with. Twice possessed an incredibly powerful quirk called Double. This quirk gave Twice the ability to create an exact duplicate of any living or non-living thing. In order for him to duplicate something, he needed to know the exact measurements and characteristics of the person or item he wanted to duplicate. But without any data, an image won't form in his head, meaning he cannot duplicate that certain thing. So when he duplicates a person, everything about that person, including their quirk, is duplicated as well. Also, his quirk can only duplicate two different things at once, and unless one of his duplications vanishes, he cannot create another duplicate. Now, what really makes his quirk so dangerous was that after Twice got over his trauma, he could basically duplicate himself an infinite number of times. His quirk, as stated by Giran, could bring down a whole country if used correctly. Even Hawks stated that after Twice conquered his trauma, a chill went down his spine because Twice went from being just another 2-bit villain to the asset they ought to fear the most. This is how you know you have a powerful quirk, when Hawks is getting chills about what your quirk is capable of. Which we actually get a glimpse of what his quirk is capable of when we are shown a panel with an army of Twice and high-end Nomu clones. This was one of the PLF's major plans, to use Twice to create an army of high-end clones as well as an army of Twice duplicates. Another one of the PLF's plans was to use Twice to mass produce the quirk erasing bullets. As we know, during the MLA arc, Shigaraki wanted to mass produce the quirk erasing drug, but Twice didn't have enough data on the drug to actually make a duplicate of it, so he was unable to mass produce the quirk erasing drug. So due to Twice's death during the current war arc that's going on right now in the manga, the PLF no longer have a way to create an army of high-end clones, and they lost their one way to mass produce the quirk erasing drug. Okay, so now that I went over just how important Twice was to the PLF's plans, we can finally get into the theory on who I think the PLF will target from Class 1A to mass produce the quirk erasing drug. In Class 1A, there is a student that has a very similar quirk to Twice's Double. She can create any non-living thing. The only thing she can't create are living beings. This is why I believe Momo Yaoyorozu will be the PLF's next target to mass produce the quirk erasing drug, and here's why. Her quirk is called Creation. It allows her to break down her fat at a molecular level to be used as material for her to turn into any object. As long as she knows the atomic configuration of whatever object she wants to create, she can create virtually any object, no matter how complex the object may be. With that said, in the current war arc that's going on right now, we know that Yaoyorozu is on the battlefield with the rear guard in the forest. Right now, the rear guard's only job is to stop any villains that slip past the front line. Currently in the manga, Tokoyami, Fat Gum, and Kaminari were making their way back to the rear guard, but Tokoyami made a quick stop to save Hawks from Dabi. Depending on what happens next in the manga, because we are currently on chapter 268 as of me making this video, and we don't know what will happen with Dabi and Hawks. If Tokoyami, Hawks, Fat Gum, and Kaminari manage to escape, they will still be making their way back to the rear guard, where Dabi might follow to finish off Hawks because Hawks knows Dabi's true identity. A fight will then go down with the rear guard against Dabi and possibly other villains. Dabi will then notice Yaoyorozu's quirk and see that she has a very similar quirk to Twice's double, and will escape to later tell the PLF of their new target to capture Momo and steal her quirk. We've learned throughout this arc and from the Heroes Rising movie that the Doctor has the technology to replicate quirks, and that Shigaraki will most likely gain the quirk All for One. So depending on how this current war arc goes, in a future arc we could either see the capture of Momo to replicate her quirk, or Momo's quirk will be stolen by Shigaraki after the PLF successfully break All for One out of Tartarus. It's already been heavily teased throughout the manga that an eventual prison break will happen to break All for One out of Tartarus, which Tartarus just so happens to be the same prison that Overhaul is being held in. And the only way the PLF will get the data they need on the quirk erasing drug is from Overhaul himself, since he was so heavily involved in the making of the drug. So if someone smart got their hands on Momo's stolen quirk, along with all of the information from Overhaul on the bullets, the PLF could mass produce the quirk erasing drug. Also, for those of you thinking that her quirk can't create liquids, she once made a lighter, and lighters require lighter fluid to work. So yes, her quirk is definitely capable of recreating the drug, if the person using her quirk has all of the sufficient data on the drug and how it's made. Now, like I said before, this theory really all depends on how this arc will continue after chapter 268 and how the arc will end. As of right now in the manga, we are currently in the middle of some pretty big fights that could change the outcome of this theory by a lot, or just completely debunk it entirely. Also, big shout out to iBob for basically giving me the idea for this theory. With that said, let me know what you guys think of the theory. Do you think Yaoyorozu will become a target for the PLF for her creation quirk, or do you think it won't happen at all? Let me know your thoughts on it in the comment section below. That is all I have for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to Detroit smash that like button below, and don't forget to share this video with your friends. If you want to see more My Hero Academia content, then be sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications on to join the Showbob's Hero Academia to become my hero, as well as following me on Twitter at Showbobs5 so we can talk about more My Hero and other anime/manga all day long. With that said, remember to stay plus ultra, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.